Have you ever found yourself quietly wondering about what comes next? Especially as we gather more years and wisdom. It's a thought that often dances on the edges of our minds. Isn't it? This quiet apprehension, this unspoken fear about the very end, can sometimes cast a long shadow over the vibrant life we're living right now. We see it in the hushed tones when the subject comes up, in the way people often shy away from discussing what is, after all, the most natural part of life's journey. But what if I told you that much of this fear stems from not knowing, from hidden truths about what death after 75 often looks like? What if understanding these truths could actually free you, allowing you to live your later years with even greater joy, peace, and purpose? In this video, we're going to gently explore 5 deeply surprising truths about death as we age. Insights that are rarely spoken about openly, but which every senior absolutely deserves to know. These aren't morbid discussions. They're liberating ones, designed to bring comfort and clarity. And I promise you, if you watch until the very end, there's something genuinely surprising waiting for you. Something that could change your perspective entirely. So, let's dive straight into the first hidden truth, one that can truly ease so many unspoken worries. It's this for many. The end of life, especially after 75, isn't necessarily marked by intense pain and suffering, but often by a surprisingly peaceful, gradual winding down. This might be a difficult idea to grasp at first, because our popular culture and even some personal experiences often paint a picture of great struggle and discomfort. But the reality for a significant number of people is different. As the body naturally ages and begins its final process, it's often more about a gentle fading, a lessening of energy, and a natural inclination towards rest. The vibrant, demanding functions of youth begin to slow. And with that, the acute sensitivities that might cause great pain earlier in life often diminish. Think of it like a beautiful old clock, slowly unwinding, its mechanism slowing, each tick becoming softer until it finally rests. The body is incredibly intelligent in its design. Even in its final stages, it often prioritizes comfort and stillness. Modern medicine and palliative care have also advanced tremendously in this area. There's a profound commitment now to ensuring comfort and dignity. Palliative care isn't just for those actively dying. It's about providing comfort and improving quality of life for anyone facing a serious illness. At any stage, when the time does come, the focus shifts entirely to managing any potential discomfort, allowing for a serene departure. Many families share stories of their loved ones simply drifting off to sleep, peaceful and calm. It's a quiet truth that doesn't get much airtime, but it's a reality for so many. Understanding this can help us release some of that deep-seated fear of a prolonged, painful end. It reminds us to trust in the body's natural wisdom and the kindness of modern care. It allows us to shift our focus from dread to preparing for peace, both for ourselves and for those we love. Now, this understanding naturally leads us to the second hidden truth, which is perhaps even more empowering. You truly have more power and control over your end-of-life experience than you might ever have imagined. For many, the thought of death feels like something that just happens to you, something entirely out of your hands. But that's simply not the case. The decisions you make now, the conversations you have, and the documents you put in place can profoundly shape your final journey. We're talking about things like advance directives, often known as living wills, and appointing a medical power of attorney. These aren't just legalistic papers. They are powerful statements of your wishes, your values, and your desires for your care when you might not be able to speak for yourself. Imagine for a moment that you've had a wonderful life, full of experiences, laughter, and maybe a few challenges too. As you approach this final chapter, wouldn't you want it to reflect your preferences, your comfort, and your dignity? This is where planning comes in. By articulating what kind of medical interventions you would or wouldn't want, where you'd prefer to be cared for, whether at home, in a hospice, or a hospital, and who you trust to make decisions on your behalf. You are taking the reins. It's not about controlling the inevitable, but about guiding the process to align with what matters most to you. For instance, a dear friend of mine, Margaret, always loved being surrounded by her garden and her beloved cat. She made it clear in her advance directive that she wished to remain at home, with comfort care, for as long as possible. When her health began to decline, her family, knowing her wishes, was able to honor them fully, creating a peaceful, familiar environment for her final weeks. This brought immense comfort to both Margaret and her family. Who knew they were upholding her values? Without that clear guidance, they might have felt lost, making decisions under duress. This planning isn't just for your benefit. It's a profound gift of clarity and peace of mind for your loved ones. It relieves them of the burden of guessing what you would have wanted during a highly emotional time. It's about having those brave, honest conversations now, while you're well, while you can think clearly and express your desires without pressure. It's about ensuring your voice is heard, even when you can no longer speak. So, whether it's jotting down notes for your family, having a conversation with your doctor, or formally completing these documents, taking these steps transforms a scary unknown into a path you've helped design. It brings a profound sense of empowerment and truly shifts the narrative from being a passive recipient to an active participant in your own life's grand finale. Moving on from how we can shape our physical end-of-life experience, let's explore a deeply spiritual and emotional truth. The third hidden truth is that your legacy isn't just about what you leave behind in terms of possessions or achievements, but profoundly, it's about how you live your life right now. In these precious later years, we often think of legacy as something grand, like a building named after us, or a significant sum left to charity. And while those things are wonderful, the most powerful and enduring legacy we create is far more intimate and immediate. It's the kindness you share, the wisdom you impart, the stories you tell, the laughter you inspire, and the love you give and receive every single day. It's in the simple act of truly being present with your loved ones, making eye contact, listening deeply, and sharing your heart. As we age, our priorities naturally shift. The striving and achieving of earlier years often give way to a deeper appreciation for connection, for beauty in simplicity, and for living authentically. This phase of life offers a unique opportunity to refine your legacy, not by doing more, but by being more. Think of a grandparent who might not have had a formal education but whose life lessons, resilience, and unwavering love shaped generations. Their legacy isn't just in what they accumulated, but in the character they built, the values they embodied, and the way they made people feel. Living your legacy now means consciously choosing how you want to show up in the world today. It means resolving old misunderstandings, expressing your gratitude, spending time with those who truly matter, and perhaps even pursuing a long-held passion that brings you joy. It's about ensuring that the final chapters of your life are as rich and meaningful as all the chapters before, not just for you, but for everyone whose life you touch. It's about leaving behind a feeling, a warmth, a memory of connection, far more than any material possession. And that, my friends, is a legacy that truly lives on, echoing through the hearts of those you've loved long after you're gone. It empowers us to live fully, to share generously, and to connect deeply right up until the very end. Now, carrying on from the power of living our legacy, this leads us beautifully to our fourth hidden truth, one that can transform relationships and bring immense peace. Brave, open conversations about death can actually deepen your connections with loved ones, rather than just bringing sadness. We tend to shy away from talking about death, don't we? It's often treated as the ultimate taboo, a topic whispered about, or worse, avoided entirely until it's an immediate crisis. But by doing so, we miss out on incredibly valuable opportunities for profound connection, for healing, and for expressing our deepest feelings. Imagine the relief and closeness that can come from openly discussing your fears, your hopes, and your wishes with your family. When we finally break that silence, we often find that our loved ones are relieved too, perhaps wrestling with their own unspoken anxieties or questions. These conversations aren't about dwelling on the grim, they're about love, clarity, and shared understanding. They allow you to tell your life stories, share your wisdom, express your love explicitly, and even clear up any lingering misunderstandings or unsaid words. It's a chance for true reconciliation and profound appreciation. Consider the story of John and his daughter, Sarah. For years, they tiptoed around the subject of John's aging and eventual passing. But one afternoon, after a health scare, Sarah gently brought it up. John, initially hesitant, soon opened up. They talked for hours, not just about practical arrangements, but about their favorite memories, their hopes for each other, and the love that bound them. Sarah learned things about her father's past she'd never known, and John felt deeply understood and cherished. Their relationship, already strong, became even more profound, filled with an honesty and intimacy that had been missing. Those conversations, while emotional, became some of their most treasured moments together. It's about moving from a place of avoidance to a place of vulnerability and shared humanity. It gives everyone a chance to say what needs to be said, to forgive, to ask for forgiveness, and to simply be present with each other, knowing there may not be endless tomorrows. It allows for a goodbye that is not sudden and unsaid, but thoughtful and filled with love. This proactive communication builds bridges, not walls. It strengthens family bonds, alleviates future guilt, and paves the way for a more peaceful transition, not just for you, but for everyone who loves you. Embracing these conversations means embracing a richer, more honest relationship with life itself. And now we come to our fifth and final hidden truth. Perhaps the most liberating of all, consciously facing and accepting your own mortality. Not in a morbid way, but as a natural part of life's grand cycle, can profoundly enhance and enrich your present life. This might sound paradoxical, but bear with me. For many, the idea of death is something to be pushed away, ignored, or feared. But when we bravely turn to face it, when we acknowledge its inevitability, something remarkable often happens. It's as if a veil is lifted, and suddenly, the colors of life become brighter, the moments more precious, and the trivial anxieties that once consumed us begin to fade into the background. This isn't about becoming morbid, it's about becoming more alive. When we truly understand that our time is finite, it often sparks a profound shift in perspective. What truly matters, is it that slight disagreement you had? Or is it the warmth of your grandchild's hand in yours? Is it chasing after endless tasks? Or is it savoring a quiet cup of tea while watching the birds outside your window? This awareness often empowers us to shed the baggage of past regrets and future worries, allowing us to be fully present in the here and now. It encourages us to prioritize joy, connection, and purpose. Think of someone who has had a significant health scare. Often, after the initial shock, there's a newfound appreciation for every breath, every sunrise, every moment with loved ones. They often describe living with a heightened sense of gratitude, letting go of what doesn't serve them, and focusing intensely on what brings them true happiness and meaning. This isn't just for those who've had a brush with illness. It's a mindset we can all cultivate. It's about deciding to live with intention, to make each day count, not in a frantic way, but with a deep, abiding peace and appreciation. It prompts us to express our love more freely, to forgive more readily, and to pursue the activities that truly nourish our souls. It's about building a life so rich in meaning and connection that when the time comes, there's a sense of completion, not regret. This truth reminds us that understanding the end isn't about hastening it. It's about making the most of every single moment we have left. It allows us to step into our later years not with trepidation, but with a sense of adventure, curiosity, and profound gratitude for the incredible journey of life itself. So, we've walked together through these 5 hidden truths, and I hope they've brought you some comfort, some clarity, and perhaps even a fresh perspective. We've seen that for many. The end of life can be surprisingly peaceful, not painful. A gentle fading that reminds us of the body's wisdom. We've explored the incredible power you have to shape your own final journey through thoughtful planning and open communication, giving a profound gift to both yourself and your loved ones. We've considered how your most powerful and lasting legacy isn't just about what you leave, but about how you live and love in these very moments, enriching the lives around you right now. And we've discovered that having those brave, honest conversations about life's ultimate transition can actually forge deeper, more loving connections with your family and friends. Finally, we've touched upon the most transformative truth of all, that embracing the reality of mortality can lead to a more vibrant, appreciative, and deeply meaningful present life, allowing you to savor every moment with greater joy and purpose. Remember, dear friends, approaching this natural part of life's journey with knowledge, openness, and courage doesn't diminish your life, it enriches it. Small shifts in understanding and in conversation can make an immeasurable difference to your peace of mind and your overall well-being in these golden years. It's about living fully, with less fear and more love, right up to the very end. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these truths. Have you experienced any of these yourself? Or do you have a different perspective to share? Please feel free to leave a comment below. Your insights and experiences are invaluable and can help so many others in our wonderful community. And if this video has brought you even a little bit of peace or understanding, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We're here to share more empowering insights and practical wisdom to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for joining me on this important conversation. Live your best life. Cherish every moment. And remember, you are not alone on this journey.